Cormac Ceann Comhairle, and I thank the Minister for being here today to hear some of the points that I want to put forward on transport. Minister, I spoke previously on a topical issue with you a number of months ago before the Dáil rose for the summer about my concerns around traffic congestion, particularly around the area of Castlemartyr, which is causing immense problems for the community in Youghal and the Middleton area as well. I know the National Development Plan review is going to be coming up very, very shortly, and I just want to reiterate that message here today, Ceann Comhairle, in the Chamber in the Dáil, that we would try and secure this project to be put on the National Development Plan, as it's vitally important to the economic futures of communities that I'm representing and that I have represented as a councillor as well before I was elected to Dáil Éireann. There are a number of other issues, Minister, that do need to be addressed in the Cork East constituency, and one of them that I feel very strongly about is the issues facing commuters who are utilising public transport services and their ability to utilise the green zone fare area in the Cork region and Cork County. There's massive discrimination in terms of geographical areas, despite there being very large with metropolitan towns in the vicinity of Cork City that have very good public transport links between the city and the towns, such as Middleton, for example, for Mallow, and for places like Fermoy and Youghal that have good bus services. Some of those towns have rail connections as well. But there is a massive discrepancy there around the fare charges that are put in place and whether people can actually utilise the Leap card services. I think it's very important, if we want to try and get cars off the road, that we make public transport affordable. And no matter where you are in Cork East, and almost all locations that are located outside of the green zone area, that is a major issue. It's extremely expensive for people who want to communicate or who want to commute on public transport from towns like Mitchelstown to Cork and from Youghal to Cork. And another issue as well that is coming up repeatedly, we're getting calls from people and texts in some cases very, very late at night through social media from people who've been left standing at bus stops all over the constituency because the public transport services we have are deeply unreliable and are not sufficient for what we need and require and for the demand that's actually there. Minister, one particular issue as well in connection to Bus Éireann that I would very much be adamant to highlight with you here in the Dáil Chamber is around the ability for families who have children or adults with serious cognitive disabilities that are attending day services, and they're actually finding it next to impossible in Youghal town in particular to try and get their children onto the buses. And that's something that's deeply concerning to me, and I would like to see you make an effort with Bus Éireann to see if there might be a couple of seats that could be reserved for children attending day services in rural communities such as the one that I'm representing, to actually ensure they have a place on the bus so they can get up and down from Youghal to Dungarvan. I think that's a very, very valid point that's been raised with me by parents in the All Autism group as well, and I want to commend them for the work that they're doing, Minister, and I think it's a very valid and very easy problem that we could tackle and solve that would make a massive difference to those families so they know that their kid will have a place on the Bus Éireann services that exist. And something as well that deeply annoys me is the fact that you have Bus Éireann operating an expressway service, which is a commercial service, and also the PSO services, Ceann Comhairle. And there's massive price discrepancies between both. And on one hand, you have the National Transport Authority telling us that they're able to operate these PSO services with massively inflated prices, might I say, in some cases double what are being charged on the expressway services. And on the other hand, you have Bus Éireann telling us that they can operate a commercial Bus Éireann service at half the rate, and that apparently is making a profit. And they're hiding behind the excuse, I think, of actually having them under so-called promotional fares, which I think they should be full-time fares for the community. I do think we're asleep at the wheel about the opportunities that exist to take cars off the road in Cork City and County. There's no doubt in saying that thousands of people are working in the East Cork area alone, going in and out to Cork City on a daily basis, but they must do it in their private cars because there's no actual option to take public transport that's reliable and affordable to do so. And I've said it here to you the last day in the Dáil. I think if you go down to the Jack Lynch Tunnel in the evening and you look at the amount of vehicles that are trying to exit Cork in the south side of Cork City on a daily basis, it's absolutely frightening. There's almost 100,000 vehicles, I think, using the South Ring Road interchange with the N25 at Dunkettle. And what's staggering about it is that there's no public transport services, despite the fact that it's connecting up our universities and our hospitals and our colleges, everything. They're on the southern region of Cork City. But yet for the thousands, tens of thousands of people who live in the East Cork area, there's no public transport services going under the tunnel to link up communities like Mahon Point and Douglas and Ringaskiddy. And these are places that there are thousands of people working in multinationals, in retail, in our health services as well. And I think it would be a very simple thing to try and address, to see, Minister, if you might commit to putting a feasibility study in place to see that those issues are actually looked into and see if there's any potential solutions as well. I thank you for taking the opportunity to listen to my points here today, and I look forward to engaging with you on these. Gormagat.